like to call this regularly scheduled meeting of the Harlingen City Commission, which has been duly posted, to order. And at this time, I'd like to call upon Commissioner Dan Castillo to lead us in the invocation.
Mayor, we're going to have Pastor David Aguilar, who's been kind enough to agree to do the invocation.
Great.
Good afternoon. Let's bow our heads in prayer. Father, I thank you for this opportunity as a community to come together to discuss ways to better benefit our city. A city that you have blessed and have opened the windows of heaven to pour out your grace, your strength, and blessings over many years. As these men and women gather to look into the areas of need and concern, I pray that you would grant them the wisdom and the insight necessary to be able to make the right decisions. Maybe not always the most popular ones, but that it would always be the right one. I pray that you would bless the labor of their hands as they lead the city. I pray that you would continue to bless our city's entrance and our city's exit. This afternoon, we pray for our city of Harlingen, and I declare that your purpose and plan will be fulfilled in every direction and in every way, from the north to the south, to the east and the west, that your purpose would be fulfilled. I ask that you would grant to us the understanding to grasp your sovereignty in all areas. I declare your peace and your grace and your hope where it is needed. I ask that you would forgive us of all of our errors and mistakes and help us to learn from them, that we would become better and more effective in our lives as citizens of Harlingen. As this meeting is conducted tonight, we ask your wisdom and your grace to fill this environment for your heart and always to learn and recognize the direction that you are granting us. Thank you for these men and women who have committed themselves to give direction and insight to our city. I declare your peace and strength over them in all areas of their lives always. And we ask these things in the name of our King, Jesus. Amen.
Amen. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Welcome. Glad to have everybody here at our meeting tonight. We have some nice special presentations that we're going to be making. The first item on the agenda is public announcement of events. Dave or Ralph?
Present.
PIO.
In the know, on the go. Let's get on with the show. The first thing I have this evening is not on a slide, but it's a reminder, or maybe for some of you it's news. The mayor is going to have his State of the City address on Friday, January 30th. There's going to be a change of location this year. It's going to still be sponsored and hosted by the Rotary Club of Harlingen. And the event will be from 12 to 1 p.m. and I believe the doors will open at 11:30, but it will be at Casa de Amistad at 1204 Fort Park Boulevard, right next door to the Municipal Auditorium. And I know Cheryl LaBerge is working on the speech. There's so many good things happen, it could go on all day and into the evening, but we're going to try to edit that down a little bit.
Actually, I'm working on this.
Yeah, but she's helping with the editing part because you don't want to cut all the things out.
She's working on the PowerPoint.
It's political. Let's just leave it. But, lunch tickets are $12 per person, and there will be 75 of those available at the door. So even if you don't want to eat lunch, it's still going to be open to the public. For those that don't want to dine, there will be plenty of seating, and there's no charge for admission if you don't want to dine. So that's a big event coming up. Got to get my suit pressed. On to the other events. We've got Downtown Harlingen is live and well. In fact, we've got a lot of announcements that I've got to get through here because we're no more relaxing in the holidays. We're back to everything going on. The Jammin' on Jackson continues. That next one is coming up January 22nd. Show times at 10:30 and at 1. And musicians are welcome. They've got all kinds of music there. For more information, contact the Downtown Harlingen office or check them out online at downtownharlingen.com. Also, the walking tours on Saturdays are continuing. We've had some nice cool weather for that, but there's plenty to see. The tours only last about 90 minutes and start at 9 a.m. on Saturdays, except those first Saturdays of the month when it's Market Street days. Make sure you got comfortable shoes. It's first come, first serve, and they take a fairly good sized group, and I'm sure they make some modifications to that. They also do tours. So if you've got a group or something and you want to schedule something that's even not on a Saturday, we welcome the Winter Texans, just like we did at the Appreciation Fiesta. Also at the museum, we've got a quilt exhibit that's underway. That'll be there through February 28th. They've got coffee and special events scheduled for January 28th and a special speaker. So they would prefer some reservations for that so they'll know how many refreshments to have, and that number is 216-4901. So if you're interested in that or some details, contact the museum and they'll put you in condition to see those lovely quilts. And I tried to let my hair grow long to do the Ringo thing, and that has not worked out for me. But I found out that there's, and this is sort of a shock, there are still tickets available for Friday night's Beatlemania 50th anniversary performance by the Liverpool Legends. So contact Ticket Zone at 631-1411 for details about the tickets. And we also have an announcement from Parks and Rec. Their new spring schedule for 2015 is out, and they've got plenty of information, anything, whether it's outdoor or recreation, to do here in Harlingen for our residents and our Winter Texans and guests, everyone included. So they've got that posted online. Plus, you can pick up those schedules at the office at the Lonsey Hill building. The library also has a wide variety of activities coming up on Thursday, January 29th from 5:30 to 6:30. There's Club Shoho. And out of curiosity, I called to see what that's about. And it's a manga series, and it's primarily for high school students. So once again, the library does things for people of all ages. You can call Laura at 216-5820 or send her an email at garza@harlingenlibrary.com for more information. But that's going to be a very artsy occasion. Also, the library has Character Wednesday. That's starting. It's a series to look into the characters in various books. It goes from 4:15 to 5:15. Children of all ages are welcome, and it will include a puppet show and a fun craft project. And again, Laura Garza at 216-5820 is the person who knows what's going on. This slide is kind of in depth, but it gives you an idea of how many things are going on at the library. There's toddler tales, puppet theater, there's movie night. Again, Laura is the person to contact, and she also has everything posted on their web page. So that's, of course, at www.myharlingen.us. They're looking for some help at the library during spring break. Volunteers that are interested, they can earn up to 9 hours of credit. This, of course, would be primarily high school, middle school students. March 17th through 19th from 1:30 to 4:30. They should come in and register and fill out a volunteer application form. So we hope people will take care of that or take an interest in that. And there will be an orientation on Monday, March 16th at 2 p.m. Laura Garza is busier than I am, I think. And coming up down the line, and I don't know what happened in January, but it kind of disappeared. We've also got our 25th annual Jalapeno 100 coming up, And the run to follow the day after, we'll be announcing a few more details. I'm sure registration is underway and probably starting to load up, and it's a great cause because Boys and Girls Club of Harlingen is one of the big beneficiaries of that. One last thing for the public library, they've got Dive Into Reading program. So for the students that can't wait to get from Christmas break to spring break, they can already plan ahead for March 17th, 18th, and 19th. And from 2 to 4, they'll have puppet shows, stories, crafts, a turtle presentation. And this is for the younger kids, ages 4 through 10, but they'd like to have people register registration will begin on February 16th. So I'm going to go have a refreshing beverage because I'm run out of events. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you, Dave. A lot of good things happening. Next item on the agenda is the presentation on the Operation Crackdown program. City Manager.
Mayor, Commissioner, today we had media day over at one of the sites that they're demolishing, and I just kind of want to give the public and the commission a rundown of Operation Crackdown, which is a 2-week operation by the Texas National Guard, and we actually have the guys that are helping us with it, and the mayor's going to be doing a presentation to them to acknowledge them. But just kind of give you a rundown. Here's a picture of the site where they demolished the structure today. We have the superintendent, our chief, and our mayor, commissioners, the president of Habitat, and then the lady in blue pants is actually the first recipient of a house that Habitat is working on, Habitat for Humanity. And Habitat's house is actually going to be on one of the lots that we demolished through the Texas National Guard. So we're not only demolishing the houses, but we're also building houses. And hopefully we're going to continue to do that. You see the house before it's demolished? And you see some of the kids from Crockett Elementary that were there as well, participating in the event. The school is about a couple of steps from the house, so it's going to tremendously impact the community and make it safer for the neighborhood and for the kids. So we're really happy about this. And these are some of the pictures, are the before and after of some of the structures that they have done. And just kind of wanted to share what we've done over the last couple of years. We've actually have done, through the Texas National Guard, we have done 103 structures demolished over a period of 4 years. And if you look at the city, including the Texas National Guard, we have demolished over 233 structures over the last several years. So I think that kind of shows you the type of commitment that this commission has made on improving our neighborhoods and making them safer for our youth. And now I think, Mayor, you're going to present the plaque and some gifts to our...
Right, so you have to do that. Why don't you come help me do that? If we could have our guard members come up here, that are here with us, that are participating in our Operation Crackdown. We want to get you to stand over here in front of the banner. Dave's going to take your picture again in a minute, and we want to give you a token of our appreciation. Those are City of Harlingen pins. They have a City of Harlingen logo on it. But you know, that house that you saw there in that picture, and invariably these structures, if you go inside, have gang markings all on the interior. I mean, they're clearly places where the bad guys hang out. And that house was 50 yards from an elementary school, a beautiful elementary school that we have in our community, Crockett Elementary. And it was absolutely essential that that house come down so we can remove that element. And we now have an opportunity through this new partnership with Habitat for Humanity to not only raise the structure, the dilapidated structure, the structure that attracts the criminal element in our community, but now to help a family with we appreciate you taking time away from your family and your normal lives and where you're from to come here to our community and to help us. And so we really genuinely appreciate what you all have done, and we thank you from the bottom of our hearts and from the hearts of our citizens in our community. And we want to present this plaque to you that says Outstanding Service Award presented to the Joint Counter-Drug Task Force Operation Crackdown for your dedication and contribution to the city of Harlingen, Texas, and an appreciation for your extraordinary commitment to the goal of making the city of Harlingen a cleaner and safer community. So thank you so much for all that you've done.
Oh, no, thank you. I appreciate it. We come here, we enjoy it as much as I know I do personally. I'm sure that I can speak for the rest of the team that we love doing what we do. So thank you for having us, and thank you for the city taking care of us as well as you do. Thank you.
And maybe we'll have you next year.
Yes, I already got the letter.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Good.
Thank you.
Another round of applause for that. Next item on the agenda is a presentation by Manny Chacon, Director of Marketing and Business Development with Harlingen Medical Center regarding their annual accomplishments. Manny, welcome.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, City Commissioners, fellow citizens. Thank you all for having us here to this evening, where it's great to be here and to be able to share with you some of the great things that Harlingen Medical Center has been able to accomplish in the last 12 months. There's numerous things, but here this evening I will be showcasing some of the highlights of matters that we've managed to do really well in this past year. So very quickly, and just before I begin, I see there's a 2 o'clock timer. Mr. David Ralph did say that if I do go over the 2 minutes, he's taking everybody to dinner here. So I'm going to keep it down to 2 minutes.
Now, this is not a citizen. This is not a citizen communication. So you have a little more time. You're actually on the agenda. A little more time.
So briefly to talk about Harlingen Medical Center, we were opened our doors back in October of 2002. We have 112 private patient suites, so that means that all of our patient rooms are private. You'll never have to share a room should you ever have to be in the hospital. We are a full-service general acute care hospital, medical and surgical. We are level 4 trauma center for our emergency room services. We have about 550, we're actually a little bit under 600 full-time employees at this time, and we have more than 250 physicians that we work with. Harlingen Medical Center is the 9th largest private employer in the city of Harlingen and one of the largest tax base in Harlingen. Since the inception in 2002, Harlingen Medical Center has donated more than $90 million in uncompensated and charitable care for people in the community who have needed to come in and have medical care and were unable to pay for it. Our parent system is Prime Healthcare Services. They're based out of Ontario, California. Currently, our system has about 25 hospitals across the country. And proud to say that Harlingen Medical Center is accredited by the Joint Commission. Very quickly, our mission at Harlingen Medical Center is to provide comprehensive quality health care in a convenient, compassionate, and cost-effective manner. We know that patients' money is valuable, and so when they are in need of care, we need to make sure that we take care of them both clinically and financially. So we try to avoid any unnecessary testing and so forth that might happen in other places or could happen to a patient. Our vision is to provide an innovative and integrated healthcare delivery system. We remain ever cognizant of our patients' needs and desires for high-quality, affordable healthcare. And to our values, compassion, extremely important when it comes to healthcare. Patients are ill, and so we need to be compassionate in their care and in our interactions with them. Quality, I think, goes without saying. Any healthcare organization should be offering high-quality healthcare service. Comprehensive, we offer a variety of different service lines to be able to take care of our patients here in our community. Cost effectiveness and service excellence, which is a big a focus of our CEO's administration. She is very much committed to service excellence, making sure that every encounter that we have with our patients is something that is going to be good and is going to be effective for our patients. So in going through some of the accomplishments that we've had in the last 12 years, my apologies, in the last 12 months. So our renovation, I'd like to start by showing you some images of our hospital main lobby that we recently started a renovation on, and actually has just about been completed. We still have a few more pieces that are going to be brought in to make the whole renovation complete. But we had everything from fresh paint going up on the walls. We had new flooring come in, new furniture. We've also brought in new furniture. We offer a surgical weight loss program. For those of you that are not familiar or are familiar with surgical weight loss, it's a program, it's a surgery procedure that helps people to lose weight who are morbidly obese and are suffering from different comorbidities. So with that said, we ended up bringing in special furniture to accommodate our patients that are in excess of weight. And so we brought in special furniture to be able to accommodate when they come into the hospital. You'll see that we've had some new artwork, some new we've got some new sculptures in the lobby, and we now have plants, and they're actually real. And we have someone who comes in and waters them every week and makes sure that they are on path to a healthy route. So it's all about creating a welcoming environment for our patients and for the community at Harlingen Medical Center. All of our patient suites are currently undergoing a renovation as well. I apologize, you can't see too well with the lighting, but in our rooms for patients, we have implemented very soft color schemes into the patient rooms to be able to create a relaxed environment so that when our patients are in the room, they're able to relax and they're able to focus on their recovery and not have to be bombarded with any bright colors or any bright images. We are now putting plasmas into all of our patient rooms. New beds are coming in, new linens, new furniture, chairs, new curtains, and I took a picture of the bathroom and I said, maybe that's not so appropriate for tonight. So I left that one out, but I did include our employee communication board for our patients, which is highly important in any healthcare setting. This is the board where your nurses who are taking care of you are going to come in and they're going to communicate your status, your procedures that you might have undergone, what you are and are not supposed to eat and drink and so forth. And so the communication board is a very important piece of being able to provide patients with effective care. And so those have all been redone, and they are all now system-wide in Prime Healthcare. We've also done our physician lounge, which I brought that to you because we want to make sure that our physicians are taken care of as well. Some of them have very high stress jobs. They see anywhere from 20 to 80 patients in a day. They're in surgery. They're taking care of people. We want to make sure that they're able to be at their best when they are having that encounter with our patients. And so one of the other areas that we recently updated was the hospital courtyard. You'll see we've implemented now 2 water fountains. We have tables where people can sit outside, take a breath of fresh air, enjoy the cool breeze. It's located right at the center of the hospital. Some of our patients often like to come down and to be able to have, it's very quiet here, very peaceful. As I mentioned, it's right at the center of the hospital, so it's enclosed by 4 walls, but you'll see there's plants, palm trees, and there's concrete benches for them to sit as well, to be able just to get some peace and quiet, to enjoy some fresh air and not feel that they have to be locked up in a room all the time while they are in their recovery process. So to talk about some of the technology that has come in with the renovation for Harlingen Medical Center, very proud to showcase to you our General Electric Optima MR450. This is the 1.5 Tesla system, and essentially this is an MRI system. And so what this is and what this does, this is whenever there is an issue with an individual that perhaps a doctor or initial assessments are not able to identify what an issue might be, this equipment is used non-invasively to scan the head, the neck, the spine, the breast, the heart, the abdomen, the pelvis, the joint, the prostate, the blood vessels, and musculoskeletal regions of the body to be able to identify where there is a medical issue and where we need to focus our attention on the patient. And so one of the great things about this new technology is that we have patients who come in and say, I don't want to go into the tunnel, I'm claustrophobic, do not want to go in there. So this bore is actually much, much larger. It is now a 70 wide CM bore. And so this one allows the patient to go in feet first. For those that are claustrophobic, sometimes when immediately they begin to see the tunnel coming and you're not even there yet, they get very panicky, and sometimes they say, no, wait, stop, get me out. So this avoids all of that. We're able to put our patients in feet first so that the bulk of the body is in, and so we're able to scan the body and be able to identify any clinical issue in the body. And so the table surface does have different cushion densities. They're designed to alleviate pressure points so that the patient feels a lot more comfortable when they're having an MRI. And we also have a coil array that offers feet first imaging, as I mentioned to you, for all exam types. And so now to talk about some of the advanced clinical care that we were able to accomplish in the last 12 months. This is a very amazing little tool, the ThermoCool Smart Touch Catheter. What this does, if ever you've known someone or if ever you yourself might have experienced a flutter in your heartbeat, or your heart tends to pump very fast and it makes you feel faint or weak and so forth. And so the ThermoCool Smart Touch Catheter is now, this is now a procedure that can help to fix that without having the patient have to undergo open heart surgery. And so the way this is helping our electrophysiologist, and there you see Dr. Mazzola, who is actually performing on a patient right there. And so this assists in the care for heart patients more effectively and efficiently. This assists in the treatment of abnormal heart rhythms. As I mentioned to you, some patients have that flutter in their heart. And so the catheter can help to find the flutter and to eliminate the abnormal heart rhythm without having the patient go through open heart surgery. So this is a much less harsh procedure, and it helps to heal the patient. So this is a new technology that was brought in to Cameron County. I'd also like to talk to you about our aortic valve replacement. This is an excellent procedure for people who are having issues with the aortic valve, and I put a picture in there of the heart to indicate where the aortic valve stands in the heart. And so essentially, if the heart is having difficulty processing blood, pushing it through the body and through the heart, sometimes people will get the aortic valve becomes it becomes a little bit stiff, and so then it prevents blood flow in the heart and in the body, and then it causes people to feel fatigue. It causes them to feel pain, shortness of breath, dizziness, rapid or irregular heartbeats. And so one of the procedures that Harlingen Medical Center is proud to offer is the aortic valve replacement. And this is for patients who have an issue with aortic stenosis. That's what the cardiovascular disease is called. And so it essentially helps by having the physician go in there and they replace the aortic valve, and it helps the patient to get back to a normal lifestyle. And this is an incredible story, and this gentleman, he authorized me to use his image this evening. And so Mr. Candia is a Santa Rosa resident. He used to live in California, moved to Texas, and he essentially said to me when I interviewed him, he said, I went to sleep one night, I woke up the next morning, and I felt something was off. And so he said to me, his wife said to him in the morning, what's wrong with you? And he's like, what do you mean? And so she says, there's something wrong with you, I can tell it in your face. So he ended up going into the ER, and essentially he had a heart attack overnight. And so what happened to Mr. Candia, he was in such bad shape, cardiovascular disease had already set in. He was brought into the ER, ended up immediately going into surgery. They performed open heart surgery on him, and so he made it through the surgery. The next day, he has a heart attack. And so the incredible story about Mr. Candia is that this man actually died for 30 minutes. And when I say died for 30 minutes, he did not have oxygen coming into the body. So truly an incredible story and a living testament to the grace of God for this gentleman. But he was dead for 30 minutes. They called Dr. Martinez, who is our thoracic surgeon, to come in, Dr. Daniel Martinez. So he came in, goes up to the patient's room. He says immediately, we have to pop his chest open or else he will remain dead. So, and I asked Dr. Martinez, what made you decide to try and bring this gentleman back after he'd been dead for 30 minutes? Because as we all know, the brain can only handle X amount of minutes without oxygen before the person is considered a vegetable or brain dead. And so he said, this man is young, he's only 41 years old, and he has a family that still needs him. And so Dr. Martinez said, and so I made the decision to try and help him to bring him back. So what they did was they opened up his chest right there in his room, in the patient's room. Dr. Martinez began to massage the heart with his bare hands, and then of course started telling the staff, get the OR ready, we're taking him downstairs for further surgery. He went downstairs, was brought back to life after 30 minutes, was brought back. He began breathing, and so then after that surgery, he had another issue, if we'll call it that. So what happened was we ended up utilizing this treatment, and it's called an extracorporeal membrane oxygenation, and it's ECMO for short, so I like to use ECMO. So ECMO is actually a machine that sits right next to the patient, and when the heart and the lungs can no longer function to be able to sustain the body alive, this machine will take over that. And so what this machine does, it pulls out the blood from the body, and then it injects oxygen, and it extracts the carbon dioxide, and then sends the warm blood back into the body, being able to keep the body functioning as it should. So this is an incredible technique.
Yeah, but you missed the best part of this.
I
You really did. This is a pretty good story. You should get with me.
And so this is a great story, and so Mr. Kanda has been gracious enough to allow us to share his story with the public. And so truly, as I mentioned before, I truly believe a great testament to the grace of God and this man coming back after 30 minutes of being gone. So an incredible story. So we offer ECMO, the ECMO circuit treatment there at Harlingen Medical Center. Emma, I'm going to talk to you after this, okay? And so to wrap up, 2014 was an excellent year for Harlingen Medical Center. We were able to make great strides in our clinical care and our service to our community. Just to highlight quickly some of the accolades that we received in the last 12 months, we were presented by a Patient Safety and Quality Award by the American Society for Gastrointestinal Endoscopy for our good work with our patients and our outcomes. The Society of Thoracic Surgeons, which they awarded us a 3-star, which is the top level award that you can receive from the Society of Thoracic Surgeons, and essentially it was awarded for coronary artery bypass grafting, and that's an open heart procedure. And so essentially with the STS and the 3 stars, that places Harlingen Medical Center in the top 15% hospitals across the country for open heart surgery. So not that we want to see any of you there, but should the need ever come for anyone that you know, please have them choose wisely and come to Harlingen Medical for their heart treatment. The TMF Health Quality Institute awarded us with the Texas Hospital Quality Improvement Bronze Award. And then, of course, this is our favorite one, Emma, take note, Best Hospital Valley Morning Star Reader's Choice Award. Thank you to the community for voting Harlingen Medical Center the best hospital in this community. And the National Research Consultants, they awarded us a Path to Excellence for our patient care and our patient outcomes. And then, of course, the top award is the Joint Commission awarding us a top performer recognition for key quality measures in healthcare. And very quickly, I would like to, of course, announce my bosses. We are under the stewardship and the leadership of our executive team, led by Brenda Ivory, President and Chief Executive Officer at Harlingen Medical Center, Chief Nursing Officer Deborah Meeks, and Chief Financial Officer David Glassberg. Ladies and gentlemen, that concludes my presentation. I would be happy to answer any questions if we have any, and if not, I do thank you for your time, and I thank you for your attention. I would like to make one more point, if I may, before I wrap up. We did leave some information up there for those in attendance. February is National Heart Month, and being that Harlingen Medical Center was initially founded as a heart hospital, every February we host different events to be able to address cardiovascular disease and to address preventative care. And so this month of February, and we left some flyers up there, and I hope that was all right, we are offering the stroke prevention vascular screenings, which essentially we are this is all non-invasive, so nothing's going to go into you, but essentially what we do, we take a picture of your carotid, the aorta, and then your peripheral. And we are going to look for if there's any type of plaque or calcium buildup, something that could lead to a stroke or a heart attack. This tool will help to identify it, and it only takes 45 minutes from the moment you walk in to the moment you walk out. And we are offering that through the month of February as a special service to the community, again, as a stroke prevention vascular screening. So we do invite those that have friends or family members who might have suffered from cardiovascular disease, or you work in a high-level stress job, and so certainly we want you to come. And by the way, I'm planning to have this because, yes, we're in a very high-stress work environment at the hospital. And very lastly, we have left also some manuals that talk about Harlingen Medical Center and the different services that we have there. So I apologize, I am in marketing, so I had to do my little pitch there at the end to close off. So ladies and gentlemen, thank you for your time. I appreciate it. Mr. Rayer, Commissioner, thank you so much. And if we have any questions, I would be happy to address them at this time.
Does the commission have any questions?
This is exactly the type of crowd I like. No questions. No.
All right, thank you. Thank you so much for that presentation, Manny. The next item on the agenda also affects you, and that's the presentation of proclamations proclaiming the following. A, National Heart Month, February 4th, 2015, and ask you to come forward and just say that after that, if I read the proclamation, it would be really anticlimactic, so I'm not going to read the proclamation.
That's perfectly fine.
I'm just going to declare February 2015 as National Heart Month, present this with you. And also thank you, because Harlingen Medical Center is a great community partner, and they have done so much for the community, not just in providing services, but in the kind of charity work that you do and the support for other charities that you have, and the participation in the medical school process, and offering to support residency slots there at Harlingen Medical Center and your facility. And so we thank you for that. And I can personally attest that my son was a frequent flyer at Harlingen Medical Center during his high school sports career, and always got great service to risks and the need that we're operating.
Glad to hear it. Thank you so much. We appreciate it. Thank you so much.
We're going to pass on the IHOP National Pancake Day because they couldn't be here, but we do have some folks that would like to present this National Human Trafficking Prevention Month proclamation to Emily Bartholomew. Is Emily here? Or Cynthia Catchings, the Family Crisis Center? No? Why don't we hold that for next time then, if they'd like to come and receive their proclamation. Item 5 is the approval of the meeting minutes of the regular meeting of January 7th, 2015. Are there any additions or corrections to the minutes? If there are none, is there a motion to approve the minutes?
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, like sign. Motion carries. Item 6A, consent agenda. Is there a motion to adopt the consent agenda?
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, like sign. The motion carries. Item 7, consider and take action to authorize the city manager to enter into an advanced funding agreement with the Texas Department of Transportation for maintenance of landscaped areas along US 7783 interchange, Expressway 77 at Spur 54.
Thank you, Mayor. I'll be brief. This is the advanced funding agreement with TxDOT to maintain the landscaped areas along the expressway, Spur 54, and the interchange. I think I added a copy of this map in your packet showing the three areas, maintenance areas. I do want to point out that maintenance area number 1, the interchange from Wilson Road down to Lincoln, that is twice a month litter pickup and once a month mowing. Everything else is once a month mowing and once a month litter pickup. And staff is recommending approval. The cost to the city on this agreement will be about $40,431.46. That's for 7 months. TxDOT expects to renew this in September, so we'll bring another one back to you for consideration. And we do have this funds budgeted in this year's budget.
And I recall maybe that in the past there was a small area that was not delineated in the description that got left out.
That's behind the retaining wall on Dixieland. Those landscape areas, we have a separate contract with a separate contractor. We take care of that on our own.
Yeah, and without this agreement and the city's contribution toward it, they would only be
3 cycles a year.
and
Basically, we're going to get, if we don't participate in this, we're going to get the expressway, Spur 54, all that, those areas mowed 3 times a year, and that is it.
and because of their funding declines, they went into this situation, and we had lots of issues with it, lots of complaints from the public because they thought our roadways, when they're really not. But this has been a great program for us because it really keeps our city looking clean.
And we benefit from the great prices because they're able to issue out a very large contract, very large areas, Brownsville area, all the way to Raymondville, McAllen area. We benefit from that price because it is a large area.
Are there any questions? Is there a motion to approve the agreement?
So moved. Second.
Any other discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, like sign. Motion carries. Item 8, board appointments. Are there any board appointments?
I do. I'd like to appoint Gary Miller to the Convention and Visitors Bureau, and I'd like to reappoint Rudy Cantu to the Planning and Zoning Commission.
Is there a motion to approve board appointments?
So moved. Second.
Second, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, like sign. Motion carries. Item 9 is an executive closed session pursuant to Chapter 551, Texas Government Code 551.072 regarding the purchase, exchange, lease, or value of real property, and 551.071 and 551.087 regarding deliberations relating to economic development negotiations, or discuss or deliberate financial or incentives for business prospect of this Project Mountain, seek legal advice from our city attorney, and Chapter 551.071 to confer with the signed council in regards to the AEP of Texas franchise agreement. Is there a motion to go into executive session?
So moved. Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, the city commission is going to go into the back room and meet with their city attorney and discuss items in executive session. There could be an action item under item 10. Okay, well, we're out of executive session at 6:43, and we're going to, based on our discussion, we're going to pass item 10 and take no action tonight. The staff is going to continue to work further on that item, and they'll bring it back to us probably at the next meeting. Item 11, citizen communication. Is there any citizen communication?
Ken Clark.
Good evening, Mayor and City Commissioners. Ken Clark, 3102 Hayne Drive, Harlingen. I've been your planning director here for the last 4 years. I'm going to be retiring at the end of January. I've been to a lot of these meetings over the last 4 years, and the one thing that I've noticed that consistently happens is that the mayor and the commission are very supportive of the staff and always praising the employees. I've heard the mayor numerous times over the last 4 years point out what a good job the employees do. And I want you to know that I've heard other commissioners, when certain projects and things come up, say good things and praise the employees for what they do for the city. And that's something that I've appreciated and been happy to see while I've been working here. Commissioner Mike Mesmar, who happens to be the commissioner for my district, a couple of years ago was upset because a certain staff member who's no longer working for the city was taking all the credit for the demolition activities, code enforcement activities, the National Guard program we have going on now. And so he asked all the code enforcement staff, the police personnel, and the public works employees to come to the next meeting. And he recognized them for the neighborhood cleanups, the National Guard program, the taking down of the Sun Valley Motel and cleaning up of that property, the unsightly warehouse building that used to be at both Buchanan and Commerce, and numerous other projects that have gone on. And I want you to know how much the employees appreciated the fact that the people who really did the work got recognized for it. I want to thank City Manager Carlos Urena for bringing me here in the first place to work for the city. He's probably the nicest, most genuine person I've ever worked with in my professional life. And so thank you, Carlos. When I first came here, people were always telling me, hey, the Harlingen's been left behind. There's been all this other growth in all the other cities, and they've been left in the dust. I have to tell you, as a city planner, I kind of selfishly said, well, you know what, I'm kind of glad that Harlingen didn't have all this rapid growth. Right around all those other cities now, what do you see? Traffic congestion everywhere. They're all playing catch up on trying to build infrastructure to catch up with all that rapid growth they had. I like to think that what's happening here is what I call smart growth. Quality developments, quality businesses. I mean, the newspaper article that was recently in the paper about all the things that are just got permits and the valuations for all those things. These are all great things. Everybody knows that Harlingen and the Valley are going to be the fastest growing area in the nation for the next 30, 40, or 50 years. And I truly believe that Harlingen is going to be, because of its location and the mix of things that are happening here, the availability of land to build more houses and homes, attracting different types of developments and mixed uses, the new airport plan, if you have a corporate air park out there in another 30 years, think how great that's going to be, the new medical school, what's going on at TSTC. So you didn't get left behind. I'm just telling you from my own professional perspective that you guys are doing the right thing. So it's been a pleasure working for you. Thank you.
Well, we're gonna miss working with you, Ken, and hopefully before you actually leave, we'll be able to have.
We're working on something for you.
Something for you where we'll get to say some nice things about you. We appreciate that. Thank you.
Roy Maynard.
Roy Maggard, 613 East Austin. Mayor and distinguished city commissioners, I want to lobby you to create a grants writer position and have an office of grant management at City Hall. A grants writer position is needed to fill out applications to bring veteran wheelchair games to the Valley and help not-for-profit and social services organizations obtain funding from Housing and Urban Development, HUD. I want to bring a Liberty House to Harlingen to help homeless veterans and would like for a grants writer to help me fill out the proper paperwork and seek funding. The Parks and Recreation Department must be restructured and jobs within the Parks and Recreation must be eliminated to pay for the salary of a grants writer. The City of Harlingen already has an Adopt a Spot program in which a sign at the park of the organization that beautifies and picks up trash at the park is placed at the entrance. Therefore, groundskeeper jobs and maintenance workers' jobs must be eliminated within the Parks and Recreation Department to pay for the salary of a grants writer. 10 part-time maintenance workers are not needed within the Parks and Recreation Department. Only 2 full-time maintenance workers are needed. Thank you for listening to my comments. And on the exhibits, I have an application for wheelchair games. And this is a flyer for a Liberty House where veterans can get all services under one roof, like substance abuse and mental health counseling, instead of having the VA deal with vouchers and paying the veterans rent. Brownsville has a grants writer. and an Office of Grant Management and a Social Services Coordinator, and this is what we need. Thank you.
Thank you very much. All right. No other citizen communications, so ladies and gentlemen, we're adjourned. Thank you very much.